Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to stick here to Bamberg in Franconia in northern Bavaria in Germany, and we're going to do another one of the local beers from here. So for this one we are going to visit one of the younger breweries in Bamberg actually, and this is a very well regarded beer within its style. So we're going to go to Brauerei Keesmann and we're having a taste of the Bamberger Herren. So as the name suggests, this one is a Pilsner style beer and it comes in at 4.6%. On ratebeer.com actually, this beer has 96 within the style, so that tells you that it should be a pretty damn good Pils beer. But I have actually tried this one the other night, and I tried it with Daniel because he was telling me, oh, if you like the Pilsner beer, this is one that you definitely need to have a go at. So I tried it and I have to say this one is a good beer, so I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more of a kind of in-depth review for you here on the channel. So as always, I'm looking forward to this beer and I hope you guys enjoy my take on it too. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, a link to my other reviews that hopefully I can do in the future from Brauerei Keesmann. Very first time I'm trying one of their beers, or reviewing one of their beers I guess I should say, but hopefully I can do some more in the fairly near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel has a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the German beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So as I mentioned to you earlier, Brauerei Keesmann then, onto my brewery notes. Brauerei Keesmann is a relatively young brewery in comparison to the other ones here in Bamberg, but the brewery is owned by the Keesmann family, who it takes its name from obviously, but they owned a butcher's and an inn originally as well. But Georg Keesmann was studying for his master brewing certificate, and when he got this in 1867 he officially kind of started the brewery. He was brewing before that, right enough, from what I believe, but the official founding date of this brewery is considered to be 1867, when he was given his, or when he earned his master brewing certificate. But the brewery can be found in the Wunderburg district of the city, which is kind of a little bit to the south of the main train station, the Hauptbahnhof here in Bamberg. And this brewery in particular is known for its sandstone building, which is quite it's a little bit unusual when compared to the other buildings around it, so it's very distinctive. It's apparently a registered Bamberg monument as well. But if you go down to Wunderburg, you can also try some beers from Mouthfeel as well, who also do some very nice beers. So you've got these two breweries quite close to each other, and they both have nice little restaurants, and they do good food and things like that as well. The German food, if you're drinking pork and beer, you know, for me, what's not to like? But this brewery's passed down the generations of the Keesmann family since Georg, and it's now run by Elisabeth and Stefan Keesmann too. This beer apparently accounts for about 92% of their production actually. They've got a Weiss beer, and they've got another one as well that apparently has only recently come out too. But the Herren Pils is their kind of mainstay beer, if you like. And like I said, this one is a very good example of the style. So yeah, that's all you really need to know about the brewery for just now. If you want to learn a little bit more, check out the brewery website in the description below and you can learn a little bit more about it. But when I was looking at this one, I had to read an article on this brewery because the website was under reconstruction. But yeah, very young brewery this one compared to the others, but they do some pretty awesome beer from at least in my experience. So yeah, check out the brewery website. Hopefully it's up and running by the time this video publishes. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. But let's get on to the actual tasting of this beer itself. So yeah, I'll just let you have a little look at the artwork of this one. So yeah, you can see Herren Pils. I thought this name was kind of funny because from my knowledge of German, Herren is like, it means like men, so I wondered if the name of this actually just meant like men's pills or something like that. So yeah, there you can see the little top label on that. I always love these little top labels that they put on German beers, and there of course is the Brauerei Keesmann bottle cap on this one. Just check that the camera's focusing on that. Yeah, but yeah, as I say, this one is a nice Pils actually. It's got that typical German roundel on it. 4.6, oh, it's 4.8% actually ABV, this one. I told you lies at the start of the video. 4.8% ABV. But yeah, without further ado then, let's get this guy out and we will get on with the tasting. It says here, after the German Reinheitsgebot brewed. So yeah, brewed in accordance with the German Reinheitsgebot and 1867, like I was saying, as the foundation date. So without further ado, let's get it out and we will get on with the tasting. Really looking forward to this. Yeah, nice little smoky opening there. That's another bottle cap for the collection, but let's get it out and into the glass. So you can smell some of these nice Pilsner malts coming out of this beer already. Yeah, look at that. So as you can see, this beer is pouring a beautiful pale golden straw colour. We'll need to let this set a little bit. Maybe I've poured it just a little bit aggressively. There's more than 2/3 of that already in the glass, but we'll just let it settle down a bit before we take a taste of it. But yeah, you can see, look at the clarity of that beer. If I put my fingers behind the glass, you can see it is absolutely crystal clear. I think it's fair to describe this one as a pale golden straw. There's quite a few little bubbles sticking towards the bottom of the glass there and going up towards the bottom of the head. The head, incidentally, is about 3 fingers, which is a little bit much, but we'll just let it settle, like I said. And it's quite a bumpy head, this one. It's got a little bit of a kind of creamy colour to it, I would say. But yeah, nice looking beer, this one, pretty much as you would expect in terms of appearance from a Pilsner. Lovely, crystal clear golden straw, good bit of bubbles, and a nice frothy white head. So yeah, let's see if we can put the last little bit of this in, and then we'll get on to the aroma of the beer. Yeah, it's one of the things you have to be... That was a little bit of an aggressive pour, but there we see. There's still a tiny little bit in there, but we'll put that in later. But yeah, with this beer then, as I was saying, when you open up the bottle in this one, you really get that Pilsner malt. It's a very distinctive thing. It's a little touch bready. It almost has that typical kind of German pale malty quality to it as well. But the Pilsner malt that's in this one, you can smell there's a nice little bit of a biscuity note to this beer. The German Pilsner malts are always very distinctive. They've got a lovely little bit of a biscuity aroma to them. Nice little bit of a kind of, it's just a sort of slightly grainy kind of thing to it as well, but you get that typical German smoothness in there too. But this one, I mean, the Pilsner style of beer, it's not one that's going to blow the head off you in terms of aroma. It's quite simple, but you can always tell the aromas of the good ones, and I think this has got a really nice aroma. So for me, nice little bit of that very slight earthiness that you get from the German hops. It's got that, the German noble hop always has this very slight sweet earthiness to the aroma. Nice little bit of a slightly spicy floral quality to the beer, and then it's also got some lighter kind of grassy notes and that almost grassy, very slightly lemony citrus to it. This, you know, this Pils has pretty much everything you would expect in terms of the aroma. There's nothing surprising about the aroma of this beer. But it's just one of these ones that it's almost like a little bit like nostalgia, of course, when you go back to these. The Pilsner beers are the ones that you first drink when you start getting into craft beers and things like that. But yeah, it looks like a lovely Pils. It smells pretty much as you would expect from the style. It smells a little bit more bready now that I've put the last little bit into the beer. But yeah, lovely bready notes. A little bit of biscuity sweetness in there as well, some grainy characters as well, and then those typical German noble hop qualities. So yeah, let's see how we get on with this one then. So this one is the Brauerei Keesmann Herren Pils from Bamberg here in northern Bavaria, Franconia in Germany. 4.8% ABV, very good example of a Pils. Let's get stuck in. Slange, Skål, Prost. Yeah, it's this beer. You know, it's just one of these ones that's beautifully done. You know, when it comes to the whole, you know, craft beer thing, everyone wants the IPAs. They want the big fruity kind of juicy sort of things. But these German traditional beers, the Franconian traditional beers as well, they're just awesome within their own right. You know, if you compare this to the other lagers and things you get on the market, this is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very straight up. This is one of these beers. It has quite a simple flavour profile to it, but it's just so well done, and that's what makes it stand out. It has pretty much everything you would expect from the Pilsner beer, this, and it's one of the kind of staple beers, I guess you would say, of Bamberg. So let's try and break this one down a little bit. So in the middle of your palate then you can feel a little bit of that kind of pale malty bready base, that just blankets the middle of your palate there. It's a little bit more grainy, as you would kind of expect from the Pilsner. As you go further into the aftertaste, you can feel there's a little bit of that kind of grainy note that you would expect from the kind of lighter malts that you get in the Pilsner. In the centre of the palate, there's a little bit of you can pick up the sort of biscuity notes that I was talking about, and as you go further out from the centre of the palate, you've got a little bit of that biscuity, cookie sweetness, I guess, as the Americans would call it. A little bit of that biscuity, cookie sweetness in there, and as you go out from the centre of the palate, it just becomes a little bit more kind of grainy, I would say. But yeah, lovely, you know, this beer goes together very well. It's so easy to drink, this one. So yeah, on the hoppy side of things then, back corners of the palate, you've got a little bit of that slightly smooth earthiness that you would expect from the from that little bit of smooth earthiness that you would expect from the noble hops. It's almost a little bit sweet, actually. I love that little kind of niche that these German hops have. As you come further forward, you can feel there's a good little bit of spicy quality to this one from the floral side of the hops. You can just feel that there. And then round the very front curve of the palate, you've got that nice, lighter, sort of grassy edge to the beer. And it's just very, very nice. Everything in this beer goes together. That little bit of spiciness that you have from the floral side of the hops, it builds a good bridge with the slightly grainy presence that the malt base has. So you've got a good little bit of bitterness coming out of this beer, and of course that's kind of what you want from a Pils. You want it to be a kind of nice, refreshing sort of thing. Daniel was telling me that apparently, you know, it used to be in the old days that the local people here in Franconia, they actually wouldn't drink water, they would just drink beer. And some of the workplaces just had beer on tap and they could just take the beer as they wanted. Some of them would be drinking like 5 litres of beer a day and things like this. And you can see when they've got beer styles like this, you know, you can kind of see exactly how that would go. It's so easy to drink this one, and it is refreshing at the same time. It does get rid of your thirst. So, in terms of the fruity side of things with this beer, and as I always say, behind the front curve of the palate, you just get that little oily bubble where the juicy, fruity esters start to come out of this beer, or come out of the beer. And this one for me again is very straight up. It's that typical sort of grassy, almost lemony citrus that you get out of this one. You can just feel that kind of takes over the sort of front part of your palate there. But the lemony citrus in here is really nice. I like how everything goes together in this beer. So yeah, this beer it's a very, very solid Pils, this one. Everything in it goes very, very well together. It just slots together really nicely. This is one where it's all about how the different flavours combine. It's not, the Pilsner beer, as I've said to you, is not a style that's overly complex, but if you get a Pilsner that's very well done, it's like one of the most satisfying beers, I think, that you're going to come across. It's the same with the likes of the Munich Helles and things like that as well. I guess the Kulsch and the Alt beers and stuff like this too. But overall, very, very nice beer, this one. It's cool to review one of the kind of staple beers, I guess you could say, of Bamberg, and this was one of Daniel's ones that he really likes when he just wants a nice, easy drinking thing as well. So yeah, if you get the chance to try this beer, have a go at it. If you like, you know, like the likes of Pilsner Urquell and these traditional sort of Pilsner beers, because of course the Pilsner beer is originally from the Czech Republic. It was brewed by a German brewer over in the Czech Republic, and they kind of spread, I believe, over into Bavaria and things like that. If you like this style of beer, then this is one that you definitely want to try, because it is a very, very good example of it. In terms of the mouthfeel then, quite a light-bodied beer, this one. Carbonation does have a good bit of crispness to it, and overall the mouthfeel, I would say, is yeah, it's got a nice kind of wet mouthfeel to it, this one, but it's got a lot of crispness to it, both from the hoppy bitterness and from the carbonation in the beer. But yeah, in terms of IBUs, I would guess around 30-ish, maybe 40 at a push from this one. Malt base, as I say, it's quite smooth, but then it's got a little bit of the kind of grainy character in there as well, and a little touch of sweetness as well. Very, very nicely done. And it's got a little bit of that kind of typical fruitiness that you would expect from the Pils as well, but mainly it's that sort of grassy, citrusy quality that you expect of the German noble hops. But overall, like I say, a very, very nice example of a Pilsner beer, one of the kind of staple beers of Bamberg. So if you like this style, and if you get the chance, definitely have a go at this one. It's very well done. Big thumbs up to Brauerei Keesmann for this one. So yeah, let's leave it at that for this. So this was the Brauerei Keesmann Bamberg, the Herren Pils, as they're calling it, from Brauerei Keesmann here in Bamberg in Franconia in northern Bavaria in Germany. Lovely, lovely example of a Pilsner beer. If you enjoy the style, definitely have a go at it. But once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know your favourite beers from Brauerei Keesmann, and do let me know some other breweries and things from this Franconia area that you would like to see me review. That'll probably have to be left for my next trip right enough, but I'm sure I'll be back here fairly soon. But until the next time, it's Slàinte just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Skål, cheers, Slàinte, Prost.